see whether that's working, whether it mucks everything up.
Yeah, I'm trying not to watch the stream unless it's like to help you set up because, well, I don't want to stream snipe you.
To be honest, most of the time my viewpoint's over the area anyway. I've got my stats in front of me in paper, so yeah. Okay. Voice seems to be holding up, even with OBS on. So we'll wait for the guys to get back up, get back, and then kick off again.
All right.
Nice.
All right, good. The thing is working still.
Sweet. Man, I've got so many different like admin windows open on my other screen. I've got the.
You fixed it.
I have, yeah.
What?
Sounds
Did
a
you
lot
figure
better.
out what it was?
Nope, I restarted everything apart from Tabletop Simulator.
Interesting.
It was probably OBS freaking out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a bunch of BS.
Very well, yeah.
Excellent.
So,
So
I think we were on an NPC turn.
Yeah.
Are we waiting for D-Star?
Yeah, we're waiting for D-Star to get back. I think these guys are still to go this round, and the Imperial Naval Officer. But I can't quite work out how that works in terms of
You used up 2 turns for these guys.
Yes. That was the Stormtrooper Sergeant moving them to start with, and then them performing an action.
He has, what is it, like a special ability that he has that
Yeah.
allows him to
He's got the
tell,
ability Tactical Direction. So he can spend a maneuver to direct one Stormtrooper minion group within medium range. The group may make an immediate free maneuver or adds +1 boost die to the next check.
I used that ability for a homebrew Killick, and had the leader of the Killicks able to move his insects around, whilst 2 of my players were inside the cave. But they were inside the hive, and basically, if they were caught, they were likely going to be forced to join the hive mind.
Ooh, that's pretty gnarly.
They managed to run out, yeah.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Killicks are not something you want to casually mess with.
No, they were looking for a missing Eldoranian scout, and they went into the cave, and they found him, but he had already been turned.
One of us. One of us.
They were going to go back and use flamethrowers on that cave, but they didn't get the chance because Alderaan blew up in that campaign.
Did they go with it?
No, they didn't. They managed to get off just in time.
Huh. Well, Alderaan may have been destroyed in the process, but at least the Killicks were taken care of.
Nope, because the Killicks still exist.
Well, shite.
Yeah, Killicks originally come from, I guess, the unknown regions, because the Chiss have a war with them at some point.
Yeah.
Because
I remember them being a thing from the Old Republic,
yeah,
the MMO.
That's sort of where I based it off. Was
yeah.
At least that little portion of the plot was yeah,
based off of that game,
or at least at the very least, like just on the base premise of all of that stuff there.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, Killicks are off-world, and they're angry that they got enslaved by the Chiss, and then they started a war with them.
That sounds like fun.
The Chiss wanted to use weapons of mass destruction on them, but Luke stopped.
That's good.
And I believe they possessed Jaina and Jason solo, but they were able to get them out of the hive mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a couple of groups of the new Jedi they got. They made them like breeding partners or something.
Yeah, it's called. I think the book it's from is the Swarm War.
Yeah, I don't think I'm at that point. Was that like when they were still kids, or had they like grown up?
No, they were adults at that point.
Okay, yeah. I'm like in terms of post Endor Legends content, I'm currently working through Young Jedi Knight. So.
Oh.
Yep.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I'm living the adventures of Jason, Jaina, Tenelka, Loey.
Oh, the Wookiee Jedi.
Yeah, Lobaka, Chewie's nephew.
Yeah, those are pretty good. I skipped most of the new Jedi Order series.
Yeah.
It comes after that.
I plan on one day getting through all of the Legends books, especially the ones that feature the Solo twins, because I remember them from my childhood.
Yeah, there are some stinkers though in terms of the book. Some real stinkers.
Yeah. The last two though, what was it? Legacy and Fate of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Those are two amazing series.
How about I don't know if any of y'all have any experience with it, but how about the Legacy era with Cade Skywalker? Any of y'all have any of those stories?
I've got a little bit of experience with that. I found a lot of the ships to be interestingly. I'm not entirely sure what I think about the what was it, Darth Krayt?
Yeah, I think it was Darth Krayt.
And what was it, Talon, the Twi'lek?
Yeah, the red Twi'lek that everybody loves.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know how I feel about those two.
Yeah, all I know is that Talon has a lot of art of her.
Yes, there is.
I mean, I can't really blame them because, you know.
The only thing that I kind of blame Talon for is that there aren't any decent pictures of Twi'leks now, and what I mean by decent is them being fully clothed.
I mean, though, technically that was kind of their thing.
I mean,
I don't know if there's a lot before that.
But yeah, I mean, she kind of set it in stone, though, in that respect.
Yeah.
Well, at least Hera in Rebels wears pants.
Hera wears a full-on flight suit.
Yeah.
And Star's back.
Hera was great for that, and yeah. Sometimes I just want a picture of an average Twi'lek instead of like.
Instead of a glorified dancing girl.
Yeah.
What, you don't want a glorified dancing girl, or? Guys?
Well, if the Twi'lek is a dancing girl, that's fine. But if I'm trying to look for like a Twi'lek farmer,
what were they like in the Clone Wars? The Twilight.
There was that one. Wars? You remember the deserter?
Yeah, yes. and even she had like the lowest cut top I've probably seen in Star Wars.
Oh, that wasn't even a top. That was just like a cloth of. That was just like a couple strips of fabric that she wedged into her pants.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, that was kind of the Twi'lek's thing. It's from what I've read on wikis, it's kind of like the Orion in that sense, except they didn't willingly sell themselves.
Just looks at the deserter's wife.
Yeah,
and Jesus
the
Christ,
way that
I forgot how bad it was.
The way that I described it the other day to some person is that a lot of how the Twi'leks communicate is through body language, and for the female communication, it's a lot to do with that sort of stuff. Is that like they wear that sort of outfit so that other Twi'leks can sort of determine what they're saying, and it's just something that is like really ingrained in their culture.
Yeah.
What, being half naked 24/7?
Yeah.
That to me sounds like a bit of a explanation to justify rather than a.
I mean, that's at least that's from what I can gather is
Yeah.
why they're dressed like.
By the way, that is 100% not a top. I'm looking at it right now. That's not a top.
I think there's
Yeah.
one well-dressed Twi'lek I know of, which is Lintel Laroon from the campaign
I'm looking
podcast.
at that picture. What happened to her Leku?
Apparently, she's got a short leku because she grew up like that and is considered very unattractive by her race because she doesn't have a voluptuous
Well,
leku.
yeah, because Leku are like the extension of their brains. So someone with a short Leku is probably going to have some deficiencies in that respect,
I heard,
and probably wouldn't be able to communicate well because it was kind of like when people adopt the tails of dogs, and like
Okay.
our communication is through their tails, kind of a lot.
I'd
So-
read that they were like fat storage and a big leku Twi'lek meant they were like wealthy and able to like eat too much. Kind of like fat
I mean,
people
that-
used to be respected.
That
Did
is the
happen, and
case, but they do have
Kind
brain
of.
cells in their Leku.
Yeah,
Okay.
to a certain extent, their Liku do hold some some portion of their brain outside of their skull.
Yeah.
And
Which
if you
is-
grab it in just the right place with just right enough of pressure, you could actually give a Twi'lek permanent brain damage.
Yeah, which is
Wow.
why if they ever lose their Leku, they have to get cybernetic replacement.
That's cool. Didn't know that.
But if you want the boring answer, it's because somebody just wanted a Twi'lek with short hair, because that's the thing
Yeah.
nowadays. Short hair women.
I mean, it would be interesting to have as part of the story, to be honest,
Yeah.
is how that would affect a Twi'lek.
Although personally, I'm more partial to the ponytail style myself. But what can you do? Okay, where were we?
Waiting for D-Star.
Yeah,
He's back.
Are you back, Lisa? Okay,
Yeah, I'm
cool.
here. I'm here.
Oh, cool. Nice one.
I was
Thanks,
beginning to
Mexico.
wonder if your dogs had eaten you instead of you feeding them.
Yeah. I mean, I said I was feeding them, just didn't say what I was feeding them.
Feeding them D-Star. Cool. So I think we've got one NPC left, which is this group of stormtroopers, and they are going to aim and fire at the ventral turret.
Let's hope that the shields hold.
Ah, right, yeah.
So
Does-
this will be.
And go deflect shots.
Can they get a disadvantage because they're firing at a Trandoshan?
But they're not. Have you crawled into the ventral one, or are you still in the door? Turret.
It'll be in the dorsal,
Me?
I think.
Yeah, I'm in the dorsal.
But then they're not firing in a different direction.
Firing at a... yeah.
I think it's more planning ahead than, which is something stormtroopers rarely do. So you should appreciate it while it's happening.
Yeah.
Wait, what group's firing at in this group?
The group off to the side by the stormtrooper sergeant.
That's impressive. If they make that shot, that's quite impressive because we are like up in the sky a little bit.
No, they're shooting a belly.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
they're shooting
bottom
that one.
turret.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Cool.
I'm trying to disable it.
They are at medium range to it.
Medium range plus a bit of I guess like plus a setback for height.
Yeah. I'll give them one setback for height and one setback because they no setback for height, but one setback for the ship moving around. Because it's not a
I think they should
stable
get
target.
50 setback because they're stormtroopers, but that's just me.
And a setback for each Trandoshan on the ship.
Yeah, they're within medium range of 2
Oh,
Trandoshans.
they don't know it. Don't.
Yeah, one
No.
failure,
One failure, one advantage.
Cool. So
Wait,
they're
so-
kind of they're
How
gonna.
high off the ground are we now?
We're not
Uh,
too high up off the ground. But
Like, is like the other turret useful now?
I wouldn't say so. I'd say
No.
at the height you're at
Okay.
the moment, you're kind of just high enough to not hit the legs on the cargo crates.
Ah, okay.
like the only person that he would probably be able to hit currently is this guy here.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
Alright.
really the only guy I could be able to hit right now. But
Yeah.
if
If-
Slack decided to stop messing around with an unconscious body and be useful,
How am I meant to be useful in this scenario?
On that subject, Slack, what are you doing?
Right, how far can I move into if I take both turns just carrying this guy?
I'd say that you can move normally now because you got him fully onto your back with last turn, so you can move 30.
You
Right.
could get him into the galley, yeah.
Yeah, I'm. He's going into the galley.
Okay.
This took longer than I thought it would. I was expecting to be done within like a turn or two, maybe, and I realised, oh, this shit.
It gets a bit tricky
He's
when
in
you're
the
trying to
galley.
do non-combat things in an initiative order because you don't have that much
Yeah.
to work with.
There's a reason why I've decided to go last for most of this.
Yeah. Cool. So top of the round, the fuel ticks up, and you are looking at, in completely arbitrary quantities, one more increment of fuel ticking before you're ready to go. If you just want to hop around on planet.
That's the plan. So, as the pilot, I'm seeing what we can do.
Go ahead.
out of curiosity,
Mhm.
what would happen if I shot the control room to keep any stormtroopers from getting the bright idea to try to disable us from there?
I mean, part of the issue might be is that if you shoot the control room, it might mess with our fuel intake.
I mean, if you need to shoot anything, try and shoot like above the door here and hope for
I
the
mean,
debris to
given
fall
you are in
down,
the-
or try and shoot above there and hope for the debris to fall
Given
there.
you're in the turret, you could probably get out the turret in one maneuver, get into the other turret in the second maneuver. And...
I'm gonna say because this ship is run by Trex, who's a Trandoshan slaver on his own. I'm gonna say that the turrets are set up so that as long as there's nothing in the way, the top turret chair can zip straight down into the bottom turret area. It gets a little hinky with where the other chair goes, but we'll roll with it.
Okay.
So,
Well,
Or
maybe he's just straight up removed that chair.
Maybe it's just made to the left.
I think there's
I think it's
like
there
a
left.
flip down chair or something that can be deployed
Or-
in case you want to use both, but it's like an incidental to move between turrets, I'm gonna say.
Oh, okay. So since it's an incidental to move between turrets,
Mhm.
I'll just kind of swap down to the lower turret.
Yeah.
I'll just do that for it to represent that.
Cool.
And then I'll use my maneuver to actually aim with the cannon.
Cool.
And
You can aim twice and take 2
I'm gonna
strain.
okay. I'll aim over at these guys here.
Mm-hmm.
Take
Actually, quick question. Rich, what weapon qualities does this turret have?
This turret has good question. My
Does
stats
it have
that
link
I've-
or anything like that?
my stats that I've got right here, it's got no qualities at all. It's just skill gunnery, range close, damage 6. But these are the reduced stats in the beginner game. So
I'm just gonna look up the YT.
yeah, go ahead. I've got
all right. So I've got gunnery, 1 difficulty, 1 setback, and 2 boosts because I took 2 strain.
Mm-hmm. What's the setback for? Did we say?
You've just been giving me setbacks.
Yeah,
Whenever
I think that was because both times you shot with the turret has been after John's maneuvered the ship. So you've been having a. Was that it? Or oh no, we had a setback in there because you were aiming a personnel range with a starship range weapon.
Okay. Yeah. No, it doesn't have any qualities.
Okay.
All right. Am I ready to roll?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Four success, 0 advantage.
Oh, fun.
Nice.
So
Nice.
basically, I just obliterate these 3.
Mm-hmm.
From what I'm guessing.
Yeah, they're lined up nicely, and the laser cannon just you see the it's kind of a tracking cinematographic, however you say it, shot.
It's a cinematic tracking shot of the projectile as it pierces each 3 straight down the torsos, instantly killing all 3.
Yeah, and the camera kind of pans from behind the turret forward, and you see the bursts and the troopers go down one by one. It looks really cool. Well done. Right, NPC turns. So,
and I guess kind of like as an incidental Thor, or just because, just for flavor, Thar's gonna go.
Nice. So the audience hears the naval officer. He's outside. He's taking cover, and he's like, "Get in there, you mooks!" And you see one group of stormtroopers rush in and kind of dive down this way, and another group of stormtroopers rush in and kind of head the other way, and they're clearly kind of getting an understanding of the situation and reacting more to it now. So that's the Imperial naval officers go. And then we see the... I'm guessing maneuvers that with tactical direction don't count towards a group's total number of maneuvers per turn.
No.
Cool. So next we see this Stormtrooper Sergeant. He kind of runs down here and gets... he's gonna come down to the bottom and then start running under the ship here, and he's probably gonna get to around here and then direct this group of troopers. He's like, "Cover me!" And they rush down here. So that's the 2 NPC turns. We got a PC turn.
Did we ever find out?
How is the... Oh, I've got maybe an idea. How is the hull of the ship?
How do you mean?
How is the hull looking currently? What is the value? Is it 18?
Yeah, so you took 2 damage. What did we say? 4 damage the first time. It's got with starships, you take off the armor, don't you? From the damage value, so it probably has taken like 2 hit points worth of damage.
So I can see on the sensors that we've got a number of stormtroopers underneath.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and Nori goes, "This is for the Queen," and he shuts off the repulsor.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Oh.
So.
Oh, brace yourselves.
So obviously the starship's gonna plummet. You do currently have the legs out, so it's not gonna.
Oh, can I?
You can absolutely retract the legs.
Yeah.
But that could squash the turret.
It could squash the turret. For one.
I forgot about. Yeah,
starships are pretty well made. Underneath. You do also have the fuel connection on the bottom of the ship.
Ooh.
So
that's really risky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is there any other way you'd like to potentially I mean, like, you could try and retract some of the landing gear rather than all of them.
Yeah, I mean, the way that I would have to do it is I would have to angle the ship a little bit on the what would this be? The port side.
Yeah.
Yeah, port aft.
Yeah.
You could just try and maneuver the ship so you, just use it in flight trying to squash the stormtroopers.
That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. That sounds good. So you
I'm
kind
gonna
of
flip a destiny point to make it easier for myself.
nice. So this
Ooh, I'm
is
liking.
like intricate maneuvering of the ship. So this is going to be a hard roll.
Yeah. I'm flip destiny point to lower the difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes
And
from a hard to.
and I'm going to give you a setback on this because you're judging this based off sensor positions, not something you can actually see.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Oh, just to advantage.
Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna say that. Yeah, I think what you do here is you aren't too familiar with flying a freighter like this. You're kind of off to the side. You're looking at the sensor array and you're trying to figure out piloting based on that. And I think in the heat of everything, you end up pivoting the ship the wrong way, and so
Okay.
and so instead of squashing the stormtroopers, you kind of roll to starboard, and you don't do any damage to anything, but it sets up the ventral turret for a perfect shot on the stormtroopers.
Yeah. I was just looking at the cheat sheet and I was like, okay, yeah, with the 2 advantage, I'm going to give him a boost.
Nice.
Gunnery check.
Awesome.
I'm gonna get a boost next time I shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on top of any aim maneuvers that you are probably going to.
All right.
Okay, so what are we gonna do? We've got 3 NPC turns here. So our stormtrooper sergeant, who's kind of trying to command this group, is gonna rush over. This stormtrooper here is clutching onto the bottom of the ship. I'm gonna make him roll a quick athletics check just to see whether he can hold on as the ship kind of flies around.
I was going to try and like a pancake flip him off the ship, but
he seems to have a good grip, but he's now well out of range of the other stormtrooper. The sergeant like rushes over and sees what's going on, and he yells at the other stormtrooper to like prepare himself to catch the hanging stormtrooper if he falls off. The hanging stormtrooper is gonna once again try and get the freight loading ramped down. So, what did we say this was before? This is going to be a computers check. We're going to upgrade one of the roles. So that'll be a light side to a dark side. And we're going to say hard check with a setback.
Well, no, that would be a dark side to light side.
No, it's opposing. It's a check opposing you guys. So I would. Oh yeah. Sorry, I flipped the wrong one, didn't I? My bad.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's like I may have been wrong about the other thing, but I'm pretty sure the DM uses dark side point, or the
Yeah,
GM.
No, the DM's the good guy. We're the evil ones.
You guys are stealing. Of course it's
Technically,
not.
we're the bad guys in this scenario.
Yeah.
Anything else on here? No, I think that's good. So let's roll this and see how he does.
Risky.
Okay.
2 failure.
Yeah. at this stage, he's getting thrown around a bit. He's not got any advantage, so he's gonna fall off onto the other guy, and the other guy was prepared, so he kind of catches him and steadies them both. But they are no longer on the ship. One final NPC turn, so these guys are going to rush forward over this way. Cool. And they aren't gonna use their blasters, so they're gonna double move. They kind of get up here and they're like, "A security droid, report!" And that's all the audience sees for now. PC turn.
Okay. All right. I want to scan the systems to see if there are any other kind of countermeasures that I can control.
So what kind of things do we reckon a ship like this might realistically have?
A small anti-personnel gun.
Grenade launchers.
So,
I don't think it'd have grenade launchers, but
Electrified shell.
Are we talking on the inside or the outside?
on the outside. Like you remember the escape from Hoth?
Yeah.
And when Han did on the Falcon and it came out
like
from the bottom.
the retractable personnel turret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an anti-personnel turret.
Maybe like a blaster rifle that's sort of attached to an automated emplacement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Buy me a hatch, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll hang
I
out
mean,
upside down.
I always saw that more as like a kind of like related to the E-Web, like kind of in that kind of.
Maybe, but
not
at the
as
same time, I'm not entirely sure Rich wants to hand as an E-Web. Right?
Well, like in the same vein as that kind of
E-Web.
weapon, but not as powerful as an E-Web.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because E-Webs are like anti-vehicle.
I've actually got a thing for this. What we have is we don't. There's you kind of scan the systems, and this is an incidental to perform this scan, and then it'll be an action to use the thing if you want to. But the what you see, let me just pull up some stats here quickly. But it's basically it's a forward facing to the ship, so it faces out this direction. But it's a kind of fixed, essentially a giant like harpoon. Trex is a slaver, and this ship is meant to catch people or other small craft. So it's got a harpoon kind of thing on the front, with which you can do what you want. I'll just pull up some stats and then tell you what you can, what kind of stuff you can do with it. Yeah, so there's this. Cool. Yeah, okay, so it's got a forward-mounted grappling turret. This weapon's entire profile uses personal scale, not planetary scale. It's got a fire arc of 4, damage 1, critical 4, range long, ensnare 4, and note ensnared victims are reeled into the cargo bay after 4 combat rounds, and slow firing 2.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we could kidnap people with that.
Yeah. This ship has been decked out to... It's a slaver ship.
Handy. Okay.
You can either coordinate with your pilot to maneuver the ship, to point the ship somewhere else. You've probably got... it's a forward firing arc, so you can probably get this sergeant, this stormtrooper, or this stormtrooper if you wanted to.
Okay.
And yeah, you can operate that from the co-pilot's chair.
Yeah, so I guess I'll tell Nori, like, point the ship towards the sergeant.
Nori nods and goes, what are you gonna do?
I think I can disable him.
Oh, by all means.
And then as an action, can I try to activate locking the elevator? The cargo elevator?
The freight door. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this will be. What will this be? You're in the ship. You have control of it. So locking it's probably. I'd say it's already locked, but if you want to like disable it even more, it's probably going to be a hard computers check.
I mean, could he just? Because I assume there's like an outside panel. Could he like?
Couldn't he just disable the outside panel?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the stormtrooper hasn't just been able to hit the panel and open the door. That's why he's been having to roll a hard computers check to kind of try and hotwire the door open. I'm not sure you can necessarily isolate the panel, but you might be able to like essentially.
Yeah, because I wouldn't want any panels to be open from the outside, so I want to lock the ship down.
Okay. Yeah, the ship. It's a slaver ship, as we said. It's probably got a lockdown mode. Roll me, average computers check to try and figure this bit of the system out.
Is that average 2 or 3?
2.
2.
Okay. Okay.
Nice.
1 success, 2 advantage.
Yeah, so you can you kind of get a look at the this lockdown system. You figure it out, and you also see like while you're looking at the lockdown system, you see mode you can put one of the screens in that's like an enhanced immediate sensor view around the ship, so Trex can kind of see what's going on. So you can use this to get a boost on targeting anything in the immediate vicinity of the ship. In fact, knock off the setback for targeting on a personal scale with this display.
Okay. Can I put that on Nori's screen too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm going to say that you've figured out the lockdown stuff, but you're not going to be able to activate it this turn.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. So
that'll work.
1 NPC turn left. This guy, he's had enough, and he is just gonna kind of. He sees how's the ship rotated at the minute. It's kind of, I'd imagine, fairly aligned.
Off kilter.
Yeah, it's fairly aligned in terms of yaw with the diagram, but it's like rotated, rolled to the starboard side. So he's gonna just peg it this way, away from the engines, as far as he can. And the audience would hear the naval officer being like, "What the hell are you doing? Get back in there!" And last PC turn. So that'll be Slack.
All right,
Slack, do something useful.
All right. Okay, now everybody give Slack another chore to do.
Yeah.
Just
Mop the
swap the
decks.
decks. Yeah.
Just gonna go into comms. The Slayer's been taken care of. Where am I needed?
Well, I'd say on the top gun, but your gunnery is utter crap. So.
Also, isn't there only one chair between the two guns?
Well, there's the fold-out chair, I guess.
Yeah. We'll kind of hand wave it a bit and say that if there's only one gunner, you can get between each turret as an incidental, and if there's more than one gunner, then you can both operate the turrets.
Maybe Because we don't have anyone in the co-pilot series.
That's true.
Maybe.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
probably operate turrets from there as well.
Alright, I'll make my way over to there then, I guess.
Because if Vex is going to be activating the lockout system, we need someone in the co-pilot seat next round.
Yeah. You can get there this turn, Slack.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And that's going to be your movement and your action. So yeah. Co-piloting. Right, top of the round. Nori, you see
Nice of you to join us.
the fuel gauge ticks up to a point where you're comfortable taking off. You guys are now presented with the immediate challenge of you've got attached fuel lines. You're going to have to figure out how to disconnect them or deal with them in a different way. You've got stormtroopers on either side. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I have an idea. Right, Fra.
Yep, me.
This. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull off and try and rip out the fuel. Once we're clear, fire at the remains of the fuel line and make this place explode.
Yeah, I was about to say, if I was in the pilot seat, I'd just try to punch it.
Yeah,
That's sound logic.
So, yeah. Once we're away, fire down, and maybe we can take this place with us.
All right.
So we'll say for the purposes of this that we're not gonna play out in initiative order or anything like this, but we'll make it a little more cinematic. So I'm gonna need a roll for piloting and a roll for one gunnery roll, just to see how we
I'm
do.
going to upgrade. I'm going to flip a destiny point to upgrade my my ability to pilot, so I can possibly get a. What is my difficulty?
Your difficulty will be average, but given you're now actually fully piloting the ship, I'm going to give you a setback for this being your first time piloting the thing.
Yeah, I'm not sort of wobbling about the the hangar bay. I'm actually fine.
Yeah.
Oh, that didn't work.
That's not a good noise. That's not a good noise.
Okay.
That's 3 failure, 1 failure, and 1 advantage.
How would you see this panning out?
What I assumed was going to happen was I'm going to fly up and rip the fuel line out.
Mm-hmm.
It sort of drags me back down again.
Yeah,
Like
I was thinking the same kind of thing. So you yank up it was overall threat as well as failure, wasn't it? Yeah. So you yank up, and you hadn't accounted for the fact that the fuel lines are tethered on one side of the ship. So as you yank up, the starboard side of the ship rises up and then jerks down, which rolls the ship over to port, and the port side of the ship scrapes along the floor. Because of the arc of the
like the floor or the wall?
No, the floor. So in fact, I'll get the
Wait, the port side?
I'll get the
Wait, how would the port side scrape across the floor when it's probably up in the air because the fuel lines are pulling the starboard side down?
Yeah, so this is what I'm thinking is the ship kind of rises up into the air, at which point the fuel lines go taut and pull the ship over this way. The ship's still trying to rise, so it kind of pivots. Yeah, so I guess the port side would go up and the starboard side would kind of be boomerang down, wouldn't it? So the starboard side kind of scrapes along the wall of the thing here. And
yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, and so the ship's kind of stuck in place here. I think.
Nori's gonna turn to maybe Vex and Slack and be like, "We need to get on Hut. This isn't gonna work. Can you guys do something about that?"
Just no turn order here. So go ahead. What are you guys thinking? you're off the ground in a.
Well, I'm thinking I'm gonna. Well, while they're working on that, I'm gonna take a pot shot at the stormtroopers, over here, and since I've already got the boost, and I'm not gonna do any kind of aiming to I'll give myself 2 difficulty and a setback, just because we're kind of jerking around.
Yeah. So this is close range, so it will be 1 difficulty, but give yourself 2 setbacks.
Okay. And then the 1 boost from the advantage from last turn.
Yeah. Ooh.
1 failure, 3 advantage. So hey, I didn't intend to hit anybody. So I miss, but I create some debris and I kind of hinder them from being able to shoot back for a bit.
I'd say that like you kind of the fire goes out towards them and kind of which group were you firing at, by the way? These ones, okay. So you had a good line on them before. The shot goes wide, but these are kind of, what would they be? Some kind of like ventilation fans kind of thing. Like they spark and explode, and the stormtroopers are like, dive for cover this way. And so they'll be spending a maneuver to recover from that. Right, so now our stormtroopers here are gonna get to the security droid and be like, before they were like, report! The security droid's just a mess. He's in no state, and so they rush past him. These stormtroopers aren't particularly clever, and they just start getting into the system and mashing at stuff. Thra, you're on the bottom turret, and you see the docking clamps on the ground kind of seal close and then open again and seal close. What are you guys doing?
Since I'm technically, am I controlling the top turret?
You can be if you want to, yeah.
Would it be worth me taking?
I think it would
top
be
turret and firing.
I think it would be worth more for turrets, like especially like this, if you were actually at the primary controls for the turret.
Yeah, I think you can shoot from a different place, but you're going to have a significant disadvantage on it because you're not looking out from it.
I can scan the system and see if I can determine what button unhooks the fuel line.
Nice.
That's what I was
Maybe
thinking.
worth you doing that, yes.
Is that a average check, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I think give yourself a boost because you're kind of working your way around the system at this point. You're getting pretty familiar.
Right.
One success to advantage.
The red one. Hit the red one.
The big red one says disengage.
Yeah, so I think you kind of like turn to Nori and Thra, Nori and Slack, and you're like, look on the console, and there's just a giant red button that's like fuel disconnect, emergency fuel disconnect.
And it's like, if A7 were here, he'd never let them live it down.
Nice. So yeah, I think give me one more piloting check, Nori.
Yeah, because basically what Nori wanted to do was split open the fuel line so it was spreading fuel everywhere and you'd be able to shoot it. That isn't happening.
Yeah, I think you can hit this button and drop the fuel lines, but it kind of like seals up. In fact, let's just roll a force die, just to see how the fuel lines dropping off play out. Okay, one dark side. So I think there's a slight problem with the fuel lines dropping, and it's like an emergency release. So the fuel lines drop off, but they don't seal. So you are starting to leak Starship fuel a bit, and you're gonna have to be careful and try and figure this out, or you're gonna start losing the fuel you need.
Well, I mean, we can get ourselves out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
How'd that check go?
4 success.
Nice.
And 2 disadvantage.
Okay, cool. So I think you managed to like pivot the ship up and punch it. I think you succeeded on that. So cinematically, I think what we're going to do here is you pivot the ship up and the engines are facing directly to this like area. The disadvantage is that the stormtroopers are going to be able to react to it, and they just managed to find the right button on the console and slam down the blast shields over the top. So they don't get incinerated, but the ship punches out, and you guys make it out of here just fine.
Whew. Yeah, Nori is resting his mask against the console like, I didn't plan on becoming a pilot in the next century.
Can I scan for a way to seal the gas?
Absolutely, yeah.
Tank?
Go ahead. I think let's make this a mechanics check because everything's computers at the minute. Like you're gonna have to go over to the hold number 3 here, which is I think is where like the general engineering zone, and try and figure this out in person because there's not just a button for it.
Excuse me, biologics.
And because they're pretty much getting away, Thrar's going to kind of look at from where his perspective of the sensors, what limited view he has from there, and just try to see if there's anything tailing them, just in case.
Yeah. So the scene you see as you as you're flying away from Moshata is there's like there's just commotion everywhere. The landing bay's caught fire, and it's gone up in flames. There's like you can kind of as you're flying away, you kind of see some Gamorreans and some more stormtroopers kind of coming into the landing bay and then rushing straight back out again. And there's just commotion going on. At the minute, there's no ships being scrambled. You remember that the only ship you guys saw around was the Imperial shuttle, and you get the impression that that was left abandoned to kind of come and try and stop you guys.
So there's no ties, nothing?
Not at the moment, no. If you want to figure out more about that kind of stuff, you're going to have to try and like get on the comms and see if there's any like chatter over the like standardized airwaves.
There probably wouldn't be for TIE fighters. They'd be using their own.
Yeah,
they'd be using their own channel.
Slack. We need to find a place to put this down and keep it hidden for a bit. We need to find some sort of canyon. Can you get on the sensors and see where we can plot a course?
Cool. So this will be. What will this be?
It is on the cheat sheets. It's an astrogation or perception check, and I'm thinking because we're on planet side, perception.
Yeah, perception makes sense.
But can I argue for like a group check between me and D-Star so that he can get an extra dice on his 2 yellows?
Absolutely, go for it. You've kind of got a second to breathe here, and
yeah. So he's just casually piloting and then looking over at the console.
Woo!
All right, 5 success, 1 threat for sealing the fuel.
Nice.
So yeah, you get that sealed up pretty quickly. No problems. You find like the override switches, and you get in the consoles and seal it up. You do lose a bit of fuel, so you're gonna struggle if you want to do more than like a short trip kind of thing.
I'm gonna go check on the slave.
Cool.
Slack, before you leave, we need to find a canyon.
Okay.
Thrar's got 3 astrogation, 2 yellow perception. He's got 3
so you can
piloting
go
planetary.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can serve as a co-pilot in the event of.
Do you have any ranks in perception? Is what I'm.
I got 2 ranks. I got 2 yellows in perception.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay.
So Slack can go do. He can go do whatever he wants to do.
Would I be able to use my forager ability?
Forager?
If I was to help with that?
How's that work?
Uh,
What's the description?
remove up to 2 difficult die from skill checks, find food, water, or shelter. Survival checks for forager take half the time.
Yeah, that's more for when we're on.
Alright, I figured it would be,
Yeah.
but I figured I'd ask.
Yeah, worth the
Yeah,
I will check
question,
on the
but
slave.
not quite. Applicable
Well,
in this situation.
given the way that we're gonna have to park down, we're gonna need something like that. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
I'm gonna try to drag the security droid back into the engineering room.
Okay, go for it. Like these security droids are out of commission, so you can do with them what you want, drag them around and stuff.
Excellent.
Is the slave still unconscious when I look at it? Or do I
The
need
weak
to
way.
roll anything?
I think he's just about coming around at this stage. Like he's confused. Last he knew, he was locked up. He'd been captured by Trex. So you can begin to like get him conscious.
Yeah. I might actually call over Vex before he takes the last security droid and just have him come over and give the slave a medical check over.
Sure. So we'll jump back to that in a second.
Do you want to do that, Vex? Yeah.
So first, Nori and Thra, what are you doing in terms of navigating?
Yeah, we need to find some sort of cave or canyon that we can stake the ship. We will fly over some canyons and find somewhere to just dip down out of sight for a while, until we can get our bearings and look around the ship.
So would that be like this? I don't think this would be an astrogation because that would
it's
be like
perception.
navigating the stars.
Yeah,
okay,
perception.
Perception works here.
Yeah, if you look on the Starship combat sheet, there's a box that says actions, and plot course is down at the bottom left, next to co-pilot.
Co-pilot plot course.
Yep.
There you go.
So 3 for perception. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And given that I'm assisting, get a burst die.
all right. Two success, 2 advantage.
Sorry, just had to step away there for a second. What were you guys saying?
I rolled my perception on a plot course check, I think it was, and I got 2 success, 2 advantage.
Nice. So you're kind of scanning around. You get a good look at the area. Moss Shutter's kind of isolated a little bit away, and you kind of you look into the like the local maps in the system and kind of get a good idea of where you are in respect to the other stuff around. You're aware that there's a heavier settlement off not too far away that like has more of an imperial presence. So you probably want to head in the opposite direction to that.
Opposite direction.
Yeah. And
we're essentially looking for an area that we can hide the ship down in, like a.
Yeah. This area.
We're looking for like a. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, this area, Moss Shutter's kind of on a plateau, and there's pretty flat desert around. So you're gonna struggle to find a canyon in the immediate vicinity. But you've got a good line on the direction you're gonna want to travel to have the best chance of staying away from Imperials. And we'll have to fly for a bit before you guys can.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. Like, we can always come back to Moss Shooter to try and get the hyperdrive.
Yeah.
Antimatter reactor thingamajig.
Or we could
now,
just
we
go
just
to another place to get it.
Yeah, but for right now, we just need to.
You guys are aware that you there was some pretty heavy Imperial presence, and you've also pissed off Timo, and they know this ship now. So before too long, the ship's probably going to get flagged. At which point you're going to struggle if you come into if you have to go through like an Imperial customs check or anything like that.
So
you're going to start getting recognized.
Nori is going to look over at Fra and goes, "We're going to have to change the transponder."
This was in my plan.
Neither was this for me, but this is our lot in life right now. We've got to work with what we got.
The scorekeeper works as she wishes.
Besides, we've got Trex now, and I am sure he's got some price on his head. Maybe we can hand him.
I was on a job. Bring Trex dead or alive for a substantial bounty. From what I could glean, he's been taking a little too much of his merchandise for himself.
Who's your client?
They wouldn't say. It's the middleman of a middleman.
Now, I'm sure you've not got any scruples about dealing with anonymous clients. I, however, do, because anonymous clients tend to come back and bite you in the tail.
It is worth it to rebalance the scores of my people.
I'm sure it is, but I'm not handing over this slaver, even if it is a slaver, to an anonymous client. I want to find out who that client is.
We could just kill him first.
He's defenseless. There's no point in killing him.
True. There is no honor in such a thing.
Like, if you're going to kill him, at least give him a blaster and do it. Give him a fighting chance.
This is true.
But right now, Go on, sorry?
There is no honor in killing a defenseless captive. For me to do so would be hypocritical.
Exactly. So, for the time being, we'll leave him trapped in his own cage, and we'll go rifling through his stuff. What's his is ours now.
I have searched the maps here. There is a larger settlement this direction, but it is full of Imperials. We must go around or in the opposite direction and reach hut space, perhaps Mos Eisley or Mos Espa.
Oh, no, never mind. I'm from the Core Worlds. Alright, yeah, let's...
If you're getting to starting to look for other other areas of interest on Tatooine, then you're going to be doing a knowledge outer rim.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe we can find somewhere else to, but Nori is kind of new to this. But yeah, he's just nodding, guys. I'll leave the local knowledge to you then.
I've got a 3 green for knowledge outer rim, so if I was going to roll that, what would I roll it against?
It would probably be an average check, wouldn't it? I'd imagine.
Probably.
I think
With no boosts or setbacks.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, would it be possible that someone else would have a rim roll? Because at this point, someone has 4 greens.
Yeah. Not to mention, Vex is a local. That much I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vex is like Timo's healer.
Probably hold fire on the roll for just a moment.
I mean, it's not something that we absolutely need as of this moment, and what we at some point we can gather the party together and then decide.
I think for now we'll flip back to Vex and Slack and see how they're getting on.
All right.
Vex, you want to give this guy a look over? Oh, the Western
Certainly.
something.
Who is this we have here?
Some slave that was on the ship. One of Trex's
Is he
slaves.
conscious?
He's coming around a bit now. He's still woozy. He's like, "Hey, I ain't no slave."
Oi, I ain't no slave. I think.
I ain't no slave.
I wish I could do a South African accent, because that's the accent he would have.
I mean, I can attempt one, but I'll be called a racist.
I'm personally just going with the Weequay accent they had in Clone Wars. And remember, these guys aren't so bright.
Yeah, the reason why I flipped it is because when you press Alt on them, they zoom in. And
that's cool.
Yeah.
I was wondering why they were upside down.
Hello, I am 41VEX. What is your name?
Nostrum Gliss. At your service. Well, hopefully not at your service. You're not with that horrible Trandoshan guy, are you?
I look back at
I'm guessing you're kind of in
Slack.
the way of Slack at the minute.
Yeah. Back and.
Oh God, you're with him, aren't you? What are you doing?
How are you feeling today?
Not great. He beat me up a little bit, but nothing too serious. He wanted me in good condition, I think.
Certainly. So no broken bones, no scratches, no medical attention needed?
A little beat up, like rough around the edges, bruises, that kind of stuff, but no visible injuries that need treating.
Okay.
Your visible injuries starts becoming race Trandoshans.
Why don't you come relax on the couch back here in the cargo hold, and we'll see if we can make you more comfortable.
Sure. What's going on? We seem to be in flight.
We are currently leaving our the town of Moshuta. Where are you traveling to?
Well, I was traveling through hyperspace. I was on a job. In fact, you gotta help me. I gotta get back there. They'll kill me. I was on a job out near Rhodia. And I was traveling through hyperspace, and there was some kind of anomaly or something. I was yanked out of hyperspace, and I was trying to track down a ship. I found the ship, but then I got in the ship, but then I was taking a look around, and this guy he came out of nowhere. This Transdoshan arsehole. Yeah, your kind.
I see. Well, calm down. We have him in custody. He won't do you any harm now.
You're not working with him?
No. We are just on his ship. as are you.
Okay.
So please relax here, and we'll see what we can do about getting you back to Rhodia.
Sure. Am I your prisoner? Am I free to move around?
You may move anywhere you like in the cargo hold for now.
Okay.
As long as he doesn't cause any trouble.
Okay, I can work with that. You guys are gonna help me though, right? It's more than my life's worth to renegade on this job.
We'll see what we can do.
I can help you guys out. I've got credits. I've got well, what you need? You get me back there and I'll sort you out.
Certainly. And I look over to Slack. Yeah. Why don't you go see what our current destination is?
All right.
And I guess at this point, Thrar, since he's got like 3 outer rim knowledge, he's coming back to kind of talk places to go with the local.
Sure.
Medical droid.
Yes, hello.
You are from this planet, yes?
Certainly.
Where can we go where we cannot be found?
Oh. There's Anchorhead is a quite small little community. No starport to speak of. It's not too far to travel from Moshuta.
Thrar kind of walks over to this console here and pulls up the map on it and kind of gestures for him to point it out to him.
Sure.
All right. I'll bring up a local map. Do we have a local map?
There's not much in terms of maps in canon of much of Tatooine, bar like the small area they travelled to.
Yeah.
So there's like Mos Eisley and Anchorhead and that kind of stuff. But
Hold on.
they're a ways off. Unless you guys have any more knowledge than I've been able to find out.
Hold on.
I mean, what I know from Galaxies is like Bestine is the capital. That's your heavy Imperial city. Mos Espa's Mos Eisley's pretty rough. Anchorhead's like on the far end of the opposite end of the planet from Eisley.
Yeah.
Inta's to the north. So depending on where Moshuta is, Anchorhead's probably closer to Jabba's territory.
Yeah. So Anchorhead is right next to right near Mos Eisley, from what I know. In terms of where I'd put Moshuta.
If you look in resources, there's a map.
Cool. Let me hop out here quickly. We'll come into Arcanus. Tatooine. So this is
Enhance.
So I'd put Mos Shutta around here on the planet, and I think around here is where like that first map John's posted in resources in on our Discord server is. Like it's kind of on the like center of the planet here on this kind of a map. So you've got I think for the purposes of this, there's the immediate vicinity of Moshuta is pretty much like flat desert, and then you'll get to some kind of like canyons and that kind of stuff as you travel slightly further out. A similar kind of thing to the Jundan Wastes. We're probably not gonna, in terms of the amount of fuel you've got, you're probably not gonna get to like the canon area of Tatooine.
Yeah.
But we can like, we can absolutely improvise on what's around.
So like get around here, and let's just say like that's just right around where Anchorhead is.
Sure. Yeah.
Just somewhere between Mos Shuta and the proper Junland Wastes.
Yeah.
Small enough that, like, if we parked far enough outside, we could probably go in and rent a dewback or a speeder or something from
Absolutely.
there.
Yeah. So let's get rid of this, and then we'll hop back to our ship.
Bleh. Everything's going all wonky.
Is it back to the ship for you guys now?
Yeah.
That's
Cool.
good.
So Thrar just kind of nods to the droid and makes his way back up here and kind of points it out to the only other semi-competent ship user in the cockpit.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So Nori is going to pilot in that direction.
Cool. No check
I'll collect
required.
that
This
droid.
is level flight. You can, if you want, you can try and fly like as fuel conservatively as you want. If you're interested in doing that, then you can make a roll to see how far of a range you can eke out.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
And I guess while this is going on, we just kind of reset our strain and wound back to 0, just because this would count as like rest.
Oh, yeah.
I think
I don't know.
you can absolutely do the vigilance or cool roll to recover strain, but I think
You
at
mean
this
discipline
point,
or?
yeah, discipline or cool. But I think at this point, you've not really got enough time on your hands to be considering this a big rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, a ship like this to go around the planet would be what, a couple hours?
Okay.
Yeah, that kind of
We're just going down the street, basically.
Eh. Unfortunately, I don't have enough of either cool or discipline to really make a difference. What about strain? Is that
That's what we're rolling.
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
what you're rolling for. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you do a simple discipline or cool check after combat, and then for every success you get 1 strength.
Okay. So that would be 2 either way. Against just roll
Nothing.
it.
Yeah, you just.
Again. Okay, just roll it. 2 advantage.
cool. So
Then
you
nothing.
recover 2 strain.
No, advantage
No.
doesn't
Is it
count
not?
for this roll.
Oh,
Nope.
okay. My bad.
A success. He needs. I think we'll go wander the ship. See what I can find.
So, what's the difficulty for my check to pilot?
Average check. Take a setback for this being like your first time
Handling,
flying the
yeah.
ship.
Well, I mean, it's got a -1 handling, so do I take 2 setbacks then?
Oh, is that how piloting works generally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, with handling, if it's if it's a positive number, you get, and if it's a negative number, you get setback.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Extra setback then.
Ooh. Wow. 1 setback.
Okay. So you're not going to be able to eke out any more range than what you previously were looking at.
Can we get to a settlement?
Yeah, I think you can get to a settlement. It might not be what you're ideally looking for. I think as you're coming along here, you don't get to a specific settlement, but I think what you do see is a shipwreck out in the desert. You're kind of getting to an area now where there's a little bit more rocky terrain kind of stuff. and you see a wrecked freighter similar to your own, maybe a YV or some kind of another
Carillion.
CEC. Yeah.
Yeah, so Nori under his mask is going to go perfect. I'll set it down there then.
Cool.
We might be able to scavenge some stuff from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Thrar is just being, I guess, like an old, probably older than Slack. Like, how old is Slack? It doesn't say.
Slack's young. I have an age for Slack. Where is he? I have him down as like 29.
Yeah.
So like quite young for Trandoshan.
Yeah. I was thinking of having like Thrar be like maybe between 30 and 40, just like I had originally put somewhere around his 20s, but I'm thinking the more I think about it, the more I want to think Thrar's probably like a lot older, you know, like he remembers the Clone Wars, but he didn't participate in them.
Yeah.
Like he remembers that whole fiasco, and so he's kind of like an old man or older gentleman at this point.
Something about Trandoshan's age.
Actually, that just remind me, Rich, what year is this?
We're currently in like the period of around 18 BBY to 16 BBY. So the Empire's just starting to get a foothold. It's ramping up. It's been like maybe a year or two since Palpatine took control of the Senate.
So Nori is like 20 then.
Cool.
Okay.
So, like, as the campaign goes on, we'll be seeing Imperial presence ramping up more and more, that kind of stuff.
So it's not too far of a stretch that some stormtroopers we'll be seeing will still be using old clone Phase 2 armor.
Yeah, like, absolutely at this point, like, it's a bit of a hodgepodge stuff, like Death Star's under early construction, not that you guys know about that.
Like we've like all the iconic stuff from Episode 4 hasn't been fully integrated into the military.
They're still using Venators and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the Venators with the twin towers and the.
I don't think you're seeing full blown Star Destroyers, that kind of stuff yet.
You might see
well, neither of the. Huh?
You might see like a Victory Cruiser, but not like in.
Yeah, you might see one of the Victories at this point, but you probably wouldn't be seeing too many of the Imperial models.
If I'm correct, probably by this point there might be only like a handful of Star Destroyers, and most of them are probably under Tarkin's control.
Even later on at the battle, like even later on after the around the Battle of Yavin, there was only a handful of the Imperial 1 Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not that long.
So, Nori comes over the comms and he goes, right, it looks like we're not going to be able to make it all the way to a settlement, but I have discovered that there is a shipwreck nearby, and I'm going to pop it down there to see whether we can locate any spare parts. Maybe we can get a hyper matter reactor part from there.
Alright.
Worth a look. I have gone west on all my systems with this character. What's happened?
How is our passenger?
Well, which one? The one that was.
That's our prisoner.
Or the one that's currently a slave?
The previous slave.
No clue. Anyone close by him?
I'll be heading my way up to the cockpit, I guess.
Yeah.
If Nori was talking about Trex, he would be asking about the prisoner.
I'm aware. just Slack's kind of getting fed up of the prisoner already, of the slave already.
Yeah.
Hence why he's decided to go into Trex's room.
So, in fact, Slack, you went into Trex's room, didn't you? So, do you want to roleplay that scene a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Does Trex say anything as I enter the room?
Yeah, so Trex turns to you and he's like, someone who's a bit more on my side of things, eh? You are looking to strike some kind of deal here? I could help you out if you help me out, maybe.
Oh, really? In what way?
Well, you seem like the sensible type, and you got some nice crewmates there. They could maybe fetch a good price. That Weequay's going to be quite a victory and feather in my cap if I take him to where I was going.
Really? What's the story to Weequay?
Well, he's some kind of like he scouts for some criminal organization. He goes out and finds stuff for them, tracks down old stuff, and he's been making a bit of a name for himself. And I was talking to some guys out in the further edges of the Outer Rim, and I caught wind of this guy and tracked him down.
Goodness.
If
Okay, there, Trex.
the voice is a little hard on my throat today.
There's a reason why I'm not doing a voice.
I was heading out to Smuggler's Run to cash in on getting my rewards for his capture.
Oh, really? And how much is that?
Oh, it was a pretty hefty arrangement I had. The guys were gonna set me up real nice.
And then Thrar just kind of sneaks up behind you and goes,
But at what cost to your honor, your score?
Well, he's a good prey, isn't he?
That weakling. I have seen them hunted before. They are never worth it. The scorekeeper should strike you down where you sit.
You don't really believe in all that crap.
You dare disrespect our people's heritage.
Hey, I'm all for keeping track of stuff amongst us peers, but there's no mumbo jumbo in the sky.
and Thrar just kind of spits at the floor and turns away. He's like,
This is why I took the bounty on you.
and just kind of walks out again.
Sure.
Kind of and just kind of as a meta thing, this is kind of just me wanting to, kind of just setting up potential explanation for Thrar's thing, should anybody be interested.
Sure.
Oh, he certainly seems to like you, doesn't he? What's the story with him?
I don't know. He said he's got a bounty out on me. Do you think Trex knows Thrar?
Oh, that's what you said last time, that they had some kind of former relationship.
Yeah, I thought they had a proper relationship as well.
Okay. So Trex will go on to explain a little bit about that formal relationship, and tells you a bit more about Thrar, which Otto, you're welcome to fill in details if you'd like.
Okay. So basically, Thrar Sinu Ushk was a typical Trandoshan. He did all the typical Trandoshan things of this time period of pre-Clone Wars, Clone Wars, pre-Galactic Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
Until one day he stopped and really started thinking. And he had always heard stories about the Trandoshans' ancient customs. For those of you familiar with the Old Republic, you'll be familiar with Kaizen Fess and the Scorekeeper and the Scorekeeper's Herald. And so Thrar looked into this more, and the more he looked into it, the more it made sense to him. And everything really finally clicked into place when he looked at how his kind kept badgering the Wookiees, their neighbors. Like not even a full jump across the stars. And he couldn't understand, why would Wookiees be worth the most if they were the closest thing they had to a neighbor, to a possible ally. And so he decided he would basically reset his social standing among the Trandoshans back down to the very bottom of the ladder, and then work his way back up using the ancient methods to honor their goddess, the Scorekeeper. And in his mind, kind of regain her favor and bring his people out of this age of random bounty hunting and slaving and just mindless killing. So that's kind of Thrar's deal.
Cool.
Cool.
I can tell y'all are just taking a moment to let it all sink in.
I'm
just how much thought I put into this.
Yeah, well, I was more or less waiting for.
So he has a bounty on. So apparently, he has a bounty on you. Any idea who would want your head?
Well, people don't really like slavers that much, do they? People always seem to be on our case. Maybe I picked up the wrong guy at some point. I don't know.
But on a backwater planet like Tatooine, there can't be that many people you've annoyed.
Hey, the Hutts like things done the Hutts way, don't they?
True. Timo wasn't the best of fellas.
They don't take kindly to us, more independent types.
Ah, yes. As independent contractors, so to say.
Cool.
Anyway.
So he tells you about how a little bit about how he's got contacts out at Smuggler's Run, which you know is further out in the Outer Rim, and that's where he picks up a lot of the slaving contracts and where he drops off slaves that he finds.
Anyway, let's say some way you got out. What's in it for me and the rest of us?
Well, I don't think we can really play that fair. I think a lot of your team seems to not be in the right kind of mindset for this line of work, but they might well fetch a good price, if you know what I mean.
You're right. We can't play fair here. You're the one in the cage. What's in it for me?
Well, I tell you what, you get me control of the ship back, and I'll let you get the profits from the Weequay, the snake, the droid, and the stick up his ass Trandoshan.
I'll think about it. You play nice now.
Cool. So at this stage, Nori, you're seeing the crash ship up ahead, and it's some kind of CEC ship, and you see it's clearly been down for a while. Like the front half of it is just destroyed from the impact, and it's got so the rear sections kind of still a little more intact. As you get a bit closer, you notice there's some kind of like activity in the area. So you're gonna have to try and perceive if you want to learn a bit more about that.
Yeah. Nori comes over the comms and he goes, it seems we've got some locals near the what he's assuming is locals, that is. It seems we've got some locals with this ship. Be on your guard. I don't know what's here. And yeah, he's going to try and perceive what's there.
Cool. So I'm guessing this is probably a perception check over the sensors, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Can I assist him with that?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're up there. So between the two of you, make a perception check. I'm going to say this is probably a hard check given the distance you're at. And take a setback dice as well.
So I'll try to like focus the scanners to give him a boost, I guess.
Yeah, well, you'll make a combined check, so you take the best aspects of both of your.
Considering he doesn't have any ranks of perception,
yeah, I don't have any. I got one.
Yeah, I'll take the boost.
Okay. Roll the boost.
Give him a boost because he's a snake guy.
He's part lizard, therefore.
What should I do about this?
Roll that again.
He's part lizard, so he's almost Trandoshan. Hey!
And that did it for me.
Nice.
Just love when a plan comes together.
One.
To advantage.
To advantage.
Nice.
Yep.
So you see that there are a bunch of Tusken Raiders around this ship. It's kind of there's big canyons and stuff in this area that you're getting to now, so it is quite hidden. You see on the back of the ship there seemed to have been some kind of firefight that had looked like it had probably taken the ship down and then caused the crash. You get the impression maybe pirate activity in the area or something like that. But you see a bunch of Tusken Raiders moving around by the ship.
Okay, so Nori is going to look at Vex and goes, take the controls from her. And then he's going to slip into the co-pilot seat.
Sure.
Okay.
And then from the co-pilot seat, he is going to get into the turret system.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not going to shoot at the Tuskens, but he's going to shoot near them as a one.
So make me a gunnery check. This is going to be essentially trying not to hit them,
Yeah.
but still make it impactful. Yeah, I'm guessing you're trying to scare them off.
Oh yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Cool. So I'd say, yeah, this is you can be continually firing as you get into range, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So or just a burst timed at the right stage, so this is going to be a close range, so 1 difficulty. But take a setback because you're gonna try and I'm guessing you want to be avoiding hitting the ship.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna be aiming at a specific location. I'm gonna take 2 strain to aim twice.
Sure.
Because I don't have any strain currently, so. Oh, I did it.
Nice.
2 success, 2 advantage.
Sweet. So you kind of you get into the range now where you can see visually what's going on, and you hear the very distinctive Tuscan yelling as some of them hold their sticks up above their heads and then start to like scatter and clear out. Love it, exactly.
Yeah, my gun is bigger than your little cycler rifle, Tuscan menace.
Yeah, so the majority of them clear out, and you see a couple get on some animals and take off running.
Good shot, Captain. That should buy us some time.
Excuse me?
I said good shot, Captain. That should buy us some time.
Yeah, Nori's looking over at him like, I'm no captain.
Oh, I apologize, Captain. Shall I set this down?
There you go. I managed to catch his name and write it down for you. At least that's how I heard it. I don't know if that's correct, Rich.
What was that? Sorry, I didn't catch what you said.
They asked about the Weequay's name.
Yes,
and I had written it down.
Thank you. Shall I land the ship now, Captain?
Do you have? Is that wise? Have you gotten any experience in pilot?
I'm just sitting in the chair.
Yeah, he's got 2 space piloting, so.
Yeah, might as well let me do it just in case. Not that I'm.
Try to learn someday. You can just park it beside the other ship that's nice, neatly parked.
I don't want the same thing to happen to us, though.
Very well. So I'll transfer piloting controls over to the co-pilot's chair.
Right.
Worst case scenario, we'll just make a second Y. We'll just make another Y tie.
Although, Dark, might be a good idea for us to go and check on the slaver once we're done here. He was looking pretty injured, and I don't want him to bleed out on us before we can hand him.
Certainly. And might I mention our Weequay cargo mentioned he is most anxious to get back to his home on Rhodia.
Rhodia? Alright. We'll discuss that as a group, though. I don't want to make any decisions regarding this ship without a diplomatic discussion.
As you wish.
Captain.
And might I straighten up the engineering lab as a medical center for us?
Take as much space as you need it. We're gonna need some sort of medical bay, given what we've been through already.
Thank you, Captain. I will go check on our prisoner.
I have a random question, but what are these down here? Like in number 3 holds? Because they look like Bacta tanks from above, but I doubt they are.
I think
that's supposed to represent the hyperdrive.
Yeah. Some reactors, probably.
Maybe.
Or reactors.
But no. I think those are stun cells. If this is a slaver ship,
maybe.
Like maybe those are like those cells that they had in
stasis pods.
I was assuming that this would be the hypermatter reactor.
I think we can safely assume that all of this is engineering.
Yeah,
this is the main computer here.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I know where I might be able to find out what they are. 1 minute. Pretty sure
I
the Age of
thought
Empire beginner game probably tells
I
you where
thought
they are.
this would be the
separately.
main computer for the engineer.
Well, judging from what I know of all of the other YT maps, YT of this class anyway, that this is the main computer.
All right.
I would have assumed this was probably the power generation room for the sublight engines.
See, I would assume that
No,
as well, but it's the fact
no,
it says
all of
hold.
this. It says hold. This is a cargo hold.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because look, this is the
engineering.
main one. This is number 2, and this is number 3. I think this is where he would have held his prisoners.
Okay.
Like his higher paying prisoners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be.
But now I've lost track of what we were actually talking about before. Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Vex was going to go and check on the prisoner, and he goes, "Before you get in there and free him, take Fra with you." The transition that we don't really know. I'm sure he wants to keep him alive until able to hand him over.
Understood. I'll go look for Thrar.
Otto, what's Thrar up to in the crew quarters?
He's just kind of sitting there, doing general maintenance on his slug thrower. He used up one of his reloads to help to just like to prepare for any upcoming fights. He's investigating one of the E11s that they managed to scoop up back in Mashuda.
Sure. I think this this pelt on the floor here is some kind of sentient species pelt.
If you ask me, it looks like Wampa.
Kind of looks like a Wampa.
Maybe.
Though it could quite easily be a Towels.
It could.
Yeah, those are the ones with the little snooty thing, aren't they?
The
little oboe mouth.
Yeah. The hunters from that one episode of Clone Wars, which was really good.
That was a good app.
Oh yeah, on the moon of Pantora.
Yeah. I really like the swoop bikes from that.
Oh yeah, the special bikes. I forget what those are called, but they have a name.
K6s, I think.
Yeah.
I think they've got a slang name as well.
Probably.
Freako bikes.
Yeah, Freako bikes.
They're cool. Cool. So Vex, you find Thra.
Excuse me, sir. I was about to perform a medical examination on Trex. Would you like to be present?
I should. Otherwise, he'd tear you to pieces.
Oh, I imagine he would.
And he gets up and just starts following him. Following the leader, following the leader to the cargo hold.
Hello, and how are we feeling today, sir?
I've been better. You're keeping me penned up like prey.
I'm sorry to hear that. How are you feeling medical-wise? Are you in any pain?
Significant.
I'm sorry. Can you show me where your main concern is?
Well, if you take a look, I've got a pretty beat up left leg, right leg, left arm, right arm, lower torso, upper torso, head, face, back, everything, you moron.
Oh my goodness. I'm afraid your model is quite obsolete.
Oh, coming in with the sick burns.
Did we cuff him or did we just throw him in the?
Yeah, he's
it
cuffed and
he's
there.
cuffed and tossed in there.
Okay.
I didn't really want to take any chances with him, so.
Smart. Okay. If you like, I can prescribe you something that would help ease your pain.
Yeah, sure. I'll take whatever's going.
Excellent. Please press your leg against the cell here.
He presses his leg. You
All right.
Looking at him, you get the impression that he's probably on about 14 wounds out of 16 currently.
If I had to put a number on it. All right. Well, the first thing I want to do is, so I'm going to reach up to where he's at in this cell, and using my needle applicator, I want to apply a sedative and try to knock him out.
Sure. Have you got sedative on you, or is this something you're pulling out the ether?
So it's one of those things. One of the mods you gave me for my needle application.
That's the
I
thing
assume
that has the ability to deliver different sources. So
yeah,
that's the kind of thing that's perfect for a light side flip to say, yeah, I had this on me.
Yeah, I totally had that on me. I would imagine I have a few doses of everything from.
Sure.
The
Flip
center,
a light side, and we'll say you've got enough to get by.
Yeah. All right. So we'll flip his point there, and.
Oh, I already did.
Excellent. So would that still be a? I guess we do that in conjunction with a medical check.
Yeah.
Or.
It depends. What are your other aims with him? You want to sedate him? Do you want to heal him? What are you trying to do?
Well, I want to sedate him before I take him out of the cage so that I can heal him.
Sure. We'll lump this all together.
So this is more of like a, antiseptic.
Mm-hmm. General medical application.
All right. Let's see.
And of course you get a setback because he's Trandoshan.
Sure.
No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, that thick hide of there.
So would it be? What would it be against?
So,
I guess his.
It kind of would work in the same way as a standard medical check. So he's below half of his hit point health threshold. So if that's average, then that's what it is.
What are those here? Okay, yeah, the third level is current wounds exceed the threshold, so if he's dead, it's hard.
Yeah. You saw when you guys were boarding the ship before, you saw the droid he had a discarded stim beside him, hence the small number of hit points he had.
Okay. So a success and a threat.
Nice. Okay. So you get him out of the cage, and you manage to heal him up to the point where he's not going to bleed out at all. You do have a little bit of a tense situation where the sedative starts to wear off a little bit as you're patching him up. I'd say maybe Thra just whacks him, knocks him out again.
Yeah, just takes the butt of a slug thrower and just knocks him on the head with it.
Yeah. Cool. So you stabilize him. You can do with him what you want.
Okay. Let's do another medical check to see, like broken bones. See if there's anything that.
Sure. He's got no critical injuries.
Good. And basically this will be the so now that he stopped bleeding. I want to try to reduce his pain when he comes to.
Sure.
There we go. 5 successes, 1 threat.
Nice. 2 threat, yeah? Oh, that one's, yeah.
Oh, is that?
Cool.
Well,
It's
let me
half and
try
half.
that one again.
Doesn't really matter. Cool.
There we go.
Yeah, so 1 threat. Nice. So yeah, he's gonna feel pretty rough, but you get him a little more stable, and
Okay.
He's gonna be knocked out for a while.
All right, but at least he's feeling better and
Yeah.
can get his health back.
Yeah. You feel a warm sensation as you make good on your base programming.
Yeah, I'm doing what I'm designed to do. I turn to Thrar. Would you like to check him before we put him back in?
I probably should check. Suspicious.
So Thar comes in close and I guess use a. Well, let me. I guess use a perception check to kind of like pat him down, make sure he doesn't have anything that could give us away to anybody who'd want to take us out.
Yeah.
Like a tracking device or anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You are aware that those kind of things, like if you're looking for tracking stuff, that's probably more a function of what's on the ship than on him. But you can definitely pat him down and see what you get.
I was thinking more like loot his wallet, make sure it doesn't have a remote control.
Okay, I'd say that's
Yeah.
probably more skullduggery than perception.
They're just
Skullduggery.
robbing the poor guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Skullduggery.
Trandoshan too. People hate us.
That's 2 green.
I
Let's.
say we throw them into the end of the week way. Let them fight out for survival.
Just as
All right, and
the main
do
doctor
I-
for Timo,
Average,
stealing the
so
wallet.
2 difficulty.
2 difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
2
add a
ability,
boost.
2. Add a boost.
Yeah, boost because he's knocked out and restrained.
But he's also.
I was expecting
Trandoshan.
you to say because he's Trandoshan.
He is also. Yes, but
No.
it's right, social Trandoshan. Does that mean he gets a setback?
Yeah, you're both Trandoshan, so it cancels out, unfortunately.
Yeah, they counter each other. Oof. Just you wait till we get to.
1
wherever
failure,
from.
2 advantage.
Okay.
So, I guess in this case, I don't find anything of any kind of threat to us, but I did manage to loot his wallet.
I shall loot his wallet and steal all his
So-
credits.
You don't get a real good you don't find anything you were looking for, but you do as you're going around you see some pretty gnarly Trandoshan claws like your own. You see you get an emergency repair kit off him, which is the like droid stim pack. You find his comlink, but you don't find anything more than that.
All right. So, like, what kind of comlink is it?
Standard model.
Okay, well, I guess I'll keep the comlink.
Yeah. Like I'm guessing it's like a handheld comlink or something like that. What do people generally use in Star Wars?
Well, is it a hologram or is it?
No, this isn't one of those fancy like contact
Like,
your local Jedi.
So it's like the one that Qui-Gon Jinn had in Episode 1, where it's just like press a button, speak
or
to
like-
someone.
Mhm.
Or I think for this time period, it was those like cylindrical ones like Luke had, and when and
Yeah,
like
maybe
and
that
when
as
he's
well.
talking to 3PO,
Yeah, that kind of thing.
like one of those. Okay. And so since I don't really need the droid repair kit, I just kind of hand it over to Vex and say,
Here, you could use this.
Just throw it on the ground, just smash it for the Vex. See what he does.
Thank you, sir.
and so what else did I find on him?
You found the comlink, his gnarly Trandoshan claws, and the emergency repair kit. I'm
right.
guessing you guys would have. It's not on him at this point, but from the immediate area, you find his heavy blaster pistol.
We would find his heavy blaster pistol somewhere around there.
Yeah, like it's dropped on the floor, like here or something. So you can find that pretty easily.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I search the rest of the cargo hold?
Yeah, absolutely, go for it.
Is that perception?
What's generally searching around? Perception doesn't feel quite
I mean, skullduggery or perception, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably perception, isn't it? There's no like investigation. Yeah, go perception.
Just a average.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
One threat.
So you're looking around. I think you get a little too rough with the crates and stuff. You're in flight, and you cause a mild crate avalanche. Just a couple of crates fall about. Take a strain for avoiding it.
Oh my goodness.
All right. And I guess Thar might as well also against the same roll. It was an average difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So after he locks up Trex, he just kind of looks around.
Yeah.
For stuff, and 0 success, 2 threat.
Wow. Okay. So you
And
guys
he
having a bit
causes
of a nightmare.
An
These
even
boxes
bigger
are
avalanche.
defective.
Sleepy work.
I think you're looking around, you lose your feet at one point, and you kind of slam up against Trex's cage, and he gets his claws on you, and like he's woken up at this point with you guys throwing crates around, and he kind of like scratches you a little, just hurts your pride.
Yeah. Thar probably slips on this stain here on the floor, whatever
Yeah.
the heck that is.
That kind of thing. So yeah, take a couple of strain and call that good.
This ship is disgusting.
I don't see anything else useful, so I'm just gonna turn and start walking out.
Cool.
Yeah, and Thar is just gonna start booking it back to the crew quarters.
Sweet. So Nori, Slack, what are you doing with the ship?
I'm kind of just sitting here, just looking out into the Dune Sea right now.
Mm-hmm. So you see this light freighter smashed front end. The back end is being shot up. It's fairly intact. You see it's got an open boarding ramp on the side, and you see the Tusken Raiders making their way off after being spooked by the gunfire.
What do you think?
I'm thinking we're going to have a poke around.
Hmm.
I have no idea why the Tuscans would be interested in this place.
What about 2 passengers on board? What do we do about them?
Well, prisoner, Trex, we can hand him in to whoever friends in the back, the other Trandoshan. He's got a bounty for him, so we'll figure out who owns that bounty, and then we'll consider taking him into that. As for the Weequay slave, I haven't heard much at all about what his deal is, but I figured we would discuss his situation as a group.
Makes sense.
I figure if we're going to be working together, because we kind of have to at this point, we need to discuss what we're going to have to do with him, because as far as I'm concerned, he is in danger right now if he's with. Though if he can provide a means of getting some edge on maybe team, we should probably work with him.
Well, from what I was hearing from our prisoner, the Weequay slave apparently works for some organization. Was it transporting stuff? He said.
Yeah, it was. You didn't get the specifics, but it was some kind of organization, probably some shady connections that, and he kind of scouts stuff out and recovers stuff for them. So he's an explorer, basically.
Yeah, I basically just explained that to Nora. Like, he might have some use. Also,
Yeah.
Trex wants to hand every single one of you in for a bounty for some reason.
He
Well,
wanted to
people-
sell the whole crew as slaves.
You wanted to sell the whole crew as slaves?
That doesn't surprise me. He would probably serve his own egg mother for that if she had a price on her head.
He also said something about a canyon with a bunch of smugglers in it that he has connections in. If we need to find a ship off this place, it might be worth going there, with or without him.
You guys roll
Awesome.
a knowledge outer rim.
Knowledge on her own.
of... Knowledge... What am I rolling?
A knowledge outer rim, average
Okay.
difficulty.
Average. I've got a chance. Oh, I passed. Nice.
Cool.
I just got 2 success.
I got a triumph.
Sweet. So you guys between you, you know a fair amount about about Smuggler's Run. It's an asteroid belt located in the Outer Rim territories on the Corellian Run, off near the planet Rhea.
Ah.
Also, I found out where the details for the Cryot thing are and what's on.
I was looking for that for so long. What is number 3 hold?
That is, I was right in thinking that was the prisoner holding.
Cool.
If Rich wants to check this out, it's in the long arm of the hut.
Nice.
Adventure book.
Is it? I looked in there for so long I couldn't
It's
find
on
it.
page 11.
Do you want to pop that in the Discord and I'll take a look another time?
Yeah.
Pop
Really
in
wish it is
resources.
on page 11.
So yeah, you know that Smuggler's Run, it's a series of inhabited asteroids in the Outer Rim, off in the Gallus sector. It was once controlled by Huts. It serves as a base of operations for quite a lot of smugglers who work out of there. It's got a bit of a underbelly kind of stuff going on, and Trex obviously has some slaver contacts who work out of there.
If we go there, it might be worth not going in this ship. Because if he has contacts there, they're going to be questioning. This ship doesn't have him on it.
And you said you got a Triumph, right, Slack?
Yes.
So if you know more than I've told you about this, like, you know a bit more about the asteroids, and if it comes into play, I'll give you the info.
Okay, I'll remember that. I'm never going to remember that.
Sweet. So are you guys setting down the ship, or what are you doing with the ship?
Yeah. I'm just going to pop this in now. Okay.
When Trax went back on board the ship, he was on one of those like hover push carts from the starport.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do I see that in any of the cargo holds?
No, you saw that discarded by the ramp when you guys were around that area. It was like a little repulsor lift pad that carried cargo, and Trex basically used it as a sled, got himself over to the ship, and then the security droids helped him up into the ship.
Gotcha.
Okay, so yeah, so we're putting it down next to the crash ship.
Sure. So you kind of land near the crash ship. You see, yeah, it's just a complete wreck. The front half is like dug into the sand and rock, just completely smashed up beyond repair. And the back
yeah.
half seems in pretty good nick. It's got some pretty heavy blaster damage, laser cannon damage, that kind of stuff. And an open
What era
ramp.
vessel is this?
It's some kind of slightly smaller, probably, freighter. If you've got a specific model in mind, by all means.
Like a CR90 kind of deal, or smaller?
No, like...
Oh, no. CR90 is a type of Corvette.
Yeah.
He's talking a frigate. Same general size, or freighters,
freighter.
right? He's talking same general size as the 1300.
Yeah.
Same general size class anyway.
Maybe
but
just
not
a
the
little
exact same
smaller.
model.
Yeah. It's probably one of those round ones without the protrusions, maybe a bit coming off the side kind of thing.
Like a 2000, maybe.
Right, let's make sure we're alone and check because the Tuscans were here for a reason.
Yeah.
And before we even think about settling down, we want to make sure that they're all gone, and maybe because I'm guessing I kind of have an idea of what Tuscans do. In like they like kidnap people and stuff.
Yeah, you would probably have an understanding coming to Tatooine and having spent at least a little bit of time here. You'd probably understand that Tuscans, like they see themselves as the rightful inhabitants of the planet. They're not very clever. They see all water as their property, and that kind
Although
of
if you look at Legends, they're kind of right.
Yeah?
Yeah, they are right, but the way that they go about it is a problem.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So yeah, Nori is going to go, right, let's have a little bit of a scout around. Maybe give the Weequay some time to breathe the air. I can't imagine it smells nice in that cargo hold.
Just as a note, my current skill tree skills that I have are Expert Tracker rank 1, Outdoorsman rank 1, and Stalker rank 1.
Nice.
So for snooping around this wreck, I might be really good to bring along.
Yeah, no. I'm wondering whether we should take Trex out there too, just to keep an eye on him.
I mean, why don't we just put him in one of these stasis cells?
Then he's alone in his ship.
And stasis?
It's not a stasis pod, it's
Someone needs to stay on the ship then.
Yeah, it's just binders hanging from a wall apparently.
Because I don't trust Rex, kind of. Oh, so it's kind of like define that Dooku, or what the Weequays had Dooku and Anakin and Obi-Wan in then.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't want to leave him alone. Though if we put him in...
I mean, saying that, I don't trust the slave to be left.
But we don't know anything about the slave. And I would much rather trust a former slave than a slave owner at this point.
Let's just sneak at the both of them.
We can take the both of them out and... Yeah.
I mean, I have cuffs. I have cuffs. I can put the Weequay in cuffs.
No, don't put the... Why would we put the Weequay in cuffs?
I mean, if two people are going into the ship... How many people are going into the ship?
I've got a pair of binders on me, so if you want to bind up Trex's ankles or something.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to take him outside of the ship, and we can monitor him from outside of the ship. I just don't want to leave him inside.
Maybe binder him around like one of the landing gear or something.
Yeah.
Just bind him to the top to the other side turret.
Let's head out then. And grab the others.
Are we at the ramp now?
Oh, I'm having just a bit of lag.
Yeah,
think
Rich
I
has been
think Rich
going
is
up into the
lagging a
high
little bit.
red.
Yeah, Rich, are you alright?
Yeah, I'm hearing you guys fine.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
Seems to be alright, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's gone
he's
now.
been going up in the high reds for me. I saw him once get to 999.
Yeah,
Right.
you guys were just up at like 800, but now you're back down
Yeah.
to UK's green and America's like 150.
So
Yeah.
as he slithers past the weekway, he goes, how do you feel about getting some air?
Yeah, I'm game.
We've landed in the deserts. We're probably going to be here a little bit of a while, so
Sure.
um,
You guys are
I
helping me
trust-
out, right? You're gonna get me back to Rhodia? I got a job to do.
well, as far as I can tell, we can't actually leave planet right now, and the plan is to get off world. If we
Sure.
can drop you off on Rhodia, I would be fine with that, but I want to get the opinions of everybody else first.
Great. I'll make it worth your while. You can get in on the job with me if you want. You can. I'll give you credits. Whatever.
Nori sort of tips his head a little bit and goes, depends on the job. Now go
Sure.
and meet one of the Trandoshans at a boarding ramp. I don't know if he's introduced himself yet. And I'm going to go get our bloody slave owner.
Sure.
Vex.
Yes, Captain.
I assume you don't want to be left alone on the ship?
Does not matter to me, Captain. Where would you like me to go?
We're heading out to examine the wreckage, and given you seem to be the smartest of us, I want your eyes on it.
Affirmative. I will lead the expedition.
Oh, receptors. I'm assuming he sees Fra coming in.
Yeah, I just kind of was having Thrar just poke around the galley just out of curiosity to see what was in there.
He goes, right, Fra, we're gonna take the slaver outside with us. I don't want to leave him inside the ship. I don't know what kind of hidden compartments or traps you might have hidden away. So, do you want to come and grab him with me?
Of course.
All right then. Any slivers through?
I'll kind of escort the week. How are we leaving? We're leaving for the freight entrance, or are we leaving for the
Through
boarding
the
ramp?
boarding ramp, because that's
Okay.
no, the freight loading chamber would make the most sense. If we're scavenging some supplies from this, we probably
Alright, I'm
immediately
gonna
into the main
leave the
cargo.
weekway and then to the freight boarding chamber then.
I'll bring my E11 up and kind of cover the prisoner.
All right. Okay. So Nori presses the button and he goes, "Right, Trex, you're coming with us."
Sure.
Whoa. 946, 937, 930, 921.
Yeah. So Nori goes, "For now, you can walk by yourself. Make any sudden movements that we don't like, and you're going to be crawling."
Okay.
Nori does
don't
have
wanna
a
leave me
hand
in the ship,
on
eh?
his. Of course not. That's rule number one. Never leave a child alone with his toys.
Hey, less of that attitude. This is still my ship.
And yeah, he's going to have one hand on his holster with his pistol, and then he's going to press the button to open the cell.
Sure.
And I guess Thrar, probably being more muscular in the upper body than Nori, is just going to grab Trex by the arm and haul him up. And he's just gonna hold his slug thrower just kind of menacingly just like they just glare at him.
Yeah. Cool. Trex is gonna cooperate. Like he might talk a big game, but he sees he's in a bad situation, and so he's just gonna follow your commands and not try anything at this stage.
Because
Yeah.
Nori sort of smirks beneath the mask and goes, "And hey, if you play nice, we'll hand you into whoever wants you, and you will be unharmed. Play nasty, and we'll hand you outside to the Tuscan Raiders that I saw a moment ago.
Sure.
I'm sure they don't make any qualms about eating lizards." And I could say that because I'm a snake.
Because half of us are lizards here. This meant to be racist to all of us or some of us?
So yeah, I'm assuming that Fror is gonna lead him outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess while everybody's opening up the freight boarding, Thrar is just gonna kind of walk behind Trex and just hold his rifle at the ready.
Sure.
Right. I guess the boarding ramp is already down, and we can leave.
You can lower it. You get out there, no problem. So at this stage, let's take a quick break. I'm gonna go grab some dinner, and then I'll be quick, and then I'll get in some ship plans. I think it's going to be a YT 1760 small transport.
Cool.
Nice one. So catch you guys back in about 15 minutes or so.
All right.
All right.